Welcome to episode 4, album 4 of 1001 albums you must hear before you die. I have signed up for 1001 albumgenerator.com. I'll put the link in the description. And this is the 4th album. If You're Feeling Sinister by Belle And Sebastian, which was released in 1996. Now, I will be very honest here. I have never heard of this band. Before I cop any hate for that, it's because I'm from Australia. And this was, if it was released there, I never heard it. I listened to, in the 90s when this was released, I listened to Top 40 radio as well as the alternative radio station in Australia, which is called Triple J. I didn't hear this played there at all. So if it was 10 years later, I wouldn't mind betting this would have appeared on there. So that's my little caveat for now. Look, I've looked a little bit into this band, Belle And Sebastian, and I can see this album seems to be, quite popular amongst critics, and relatively highly revered as far as albums are concerned. But from someone, and I often do find myself listening to albums of the past. If you've watched the first 3 episodes of this, you'll see I've got no problem. I'm quite happy listening to older music. I like all styles of music. I love indie. I love alternative music. But I'll be perfectly honest, this album tried me. I found this very trying to listen to. I listened to it a couple of times, probably 3 times in total, and it was one of those few albums that I found it so difficult to get into this. And there's a part of me thinking this really, I can't see how this ended up on this list of 1001 albums. But I don't know, maybe if you grew up with it, maybe if you've been listening to it for years, maybe it grows on you. So anyway, let's kick it off.
Make a new cult every day to suit your affairs. Kissing girls in English at the back of the stairs. You're a honey with a following of innocent boys. They never know it because you never show it. You always get your way. They never know it because you never show it. You always get your way. Have you and her been taking pictures of your obsessions? 'Cause I met a boy who went through one of your sessions. In his blue velour and silk you liberated a boy I never rated. Now he's throwing discus from Liverpool and witness. You liberated a boy I never rated. Now he's doing business. Stars of track and field you are. Stars of track and field you are. Stars of track and field are beautiful people. Could I write a piece about you?
So I know it's one of those songs. It's okay. It's really slow to get going, and then drums sort of come in, and I think, okay, maybe it's going to kick up a gear, and then goes back to that pretty much for the rest of the song. Sort of a moderate tempo. But the thing for me, look, I guess everybody has got this. There's occasionally you'll come across a singer that has this tone to their voice that just always sounds the same. And look, I might eat my words here as I listen to these songs, but I'll go into the next one.
perspective, cause the other boys are queuing up behind us. A hand over my mouth, a hand over the window. Well, if I remain passive and you just want to cuddle, then we should be okay and we won't get in a muddle. We're seeing other people, at least that's what we say we are doing. So how?
Yeah, from memory, pretty much continues the same.
And he wants to talk, but no, there's too much history, too much biography between us. Me and the Major don't see eye to eye on it.
Yeah, that continues pretty much the same. You notice it sort of up tempo kind of songs.
Lisa's kissing men like a long walk home when the music stops. Take a tip from me, took her to the park when you're on your own. It's a long walk home. Well, if they follow you, don't look back like Dylan in the movies. On your own, if they follow you.
See, this I like. This is there's something I can't even explain to you. Those first three songs just don't really do it for me. This song, I quite like the melody in it. There's drums in it. I like the melody of the vocal line in that. This is what I would recognise any of this sort of indie folk pop would sound like.
It's not your money that they're after, boy, it's you. Pure easy listening. Fox in the snow, where do you go to find something you could eat? 'Cause the word out on the street is you are starving. Don't let yourself go hungry now. Don't let yourself grow cold. Fox in the snow. Oh, get me away from here, I'm dying. Play me a song to set me free. Nobody writes them like they used to, so it may as well be me. Here am I own now after hours. Here am I own now on a bus. Think of it this way, you could either be successful or be us. Without winning smiles and nods. Without Anthony walked to his death because he thought he'd never feel this way again. If he goes back to the house, then things would go from bad to worse. What could he do? He once Used to remember things exactly as he left them on that funny day. And if there is something else beyond, he isn't scared, because it's bound to be less boring than today. Bound to be less boring than tomorrow.
Well, one thing I'll say about that, there's something about these lyrics, often a lot of these songs, that seem a little bit juvenile, but that doesn't. That seems actually quite dark. But the sound of the song seems a little bit happy, so that's an interesting combination. But the first thought I had was listening to that was like, oh, this reminds me of a band called Frente from Australia, and they came out 1991, 92 from memory. I'm not sure who they were influenced by. I doubt this band was influenced by Frente, but there's this is really sounds very similar to that band.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Having said that, I wouldn't mind just listening to this already. I think it sounds obvious to me that they were influenced by bands like the Smiths.
Lovesick on a sunny afternoon. You are tired of staying in. You are waiting for a sign. Mayfly woken up when skies are clear. I don't mind you coming near. Give me company till she comes again. The boy done wrong again. Hang your head in shame and cry your life away. The boy done wrong again. Hang your head in shame and cry your life away. Are you okay now? Uncertain.
See, that's a little bit different to all the other ones, focusing a bit more on the melody of the vocal. They've all got similar sort of structure, that, the acoustic guitar with the bass, a bass do over the top of it and everything. Not much drums, but I give a bit more credit. The lyrics seem a bit more experimental, a little bit less juvenile, and and as you can see, if you look here, I've only added 2 songs out of this entire album so far. On to the last song.
Judy wrote the saddest song.
Can you see what I mean? How the structure is almost the same. Just a basic guitar intro with nothing else happening, and then lyrics, no drums.
You showed it to a boy in school today.
There's a little bit of bass playing in the background.
Judy, where did you go wrong? You used to make me smile.
Wait, no, that's just the bass string on the guitar. Take that back.
I was down. Judy was a teenage rebel. She did it with a boy when she was young. She gave herself to books and learning. She gave herself to being number one. Judy, I don't know you if you're gonna show me everything.
Yeah, this, considering the list, if you just come to me and said, hey, have a listen to this, I know you're not into, indie folk or folk music in general is probably, lower in my list of what I normally listen to. In Australia, we have Angus and Julia Stone. I don't know if anyone else out there knows who they are. I really like them. I like Julia Stone stuff. I like Angus. I like their kind of music, which is along this kind of lines. But I find it a lot more interesting even from the first listen. So if you just came to me and said, hey, have a listen to this album, I'd be like, oh, yeah, it's okay. But we're listening to this in the context of the top 1,001 albums you should listen to before you die. And also knowing what I know, the little bit of research I did, is this album is held in high regard. With those things in mind, I think this really falls short. I don't know who I need to look into who it is held in high regard by. And look, just remember this though, but this is probably critics who've held this in high regard. Just remember that critics, back in the day, Led Zeppelin 4 was shit-canned by the critics. Led Zeppelin 4, their biggest album, they're one of the biggest albums. It's the one with, if you don't know Led Zeppelin 4, that's the one with Stairway to Heaven on it. You know that song? Huge album. The critics hated it when they first heard it. Toto 4, that album, the critics hated it. That was their biggest album. It was a huge seller. It was a huge hit. That's the one with Rosanna and Africa on it. So to give you an idea, critics get it wrong. Look, I guess I'm a critic too. But I try not to be. I try to be fair. I'm trying to be fair here. So within the context of the 1,001 albums, this, to me, it falls short. I've given it a really fair go. And look, sorry to people who like this, but I'm giving this, 1 star. Well, actually, I'll tell you what, given the fact that I since listened to it a few times and now I've added 2 of the songs, I'll give it 2 stars. I gave it on the website 1 star. Who cares? It doesn't matter. But my official review of this is 2 stars in this context, the context of 1,001 albums you should hear before you die. Sorry if it disappoints anyone. Thanks for watching.